So I'm doing two videos today, and I know that I just did a vlog for you guys, and I don't know, maybe this one's just because I haven't done a video in like 3 months, and I'm just like, oh, hey, I might as well do something for the people who actually care about my shit, so, oh well. This video is going to just be a deck profile, again, of what I ran at Toronto. A couple updated changes, and a little more in depth now that I can actually have some time to talk about it. Because people are playing this deck and they're just like, oh my god, this deck's amazing, it generates so much advantage all day long. Oh, Cyber Dragon kills it. Oh my god, System Down's so good against this deck. Oh my god, maybe we should just not play this deck. Maybe I'll play the MKG bring back guy from Grave and Exceed guy, or I don't know. I just want to clarify all this stuff that people have been saying and give my personal thoughts on it, because I haven't really done so since the event. I mean, I've done a little bit on Duelist Grounds, but people are just really messing this deck up. They're playing it so poorly. Like, just so poorly. And they're like, oh my god, this deck's fucking terrible. And I'm like, this is the greatest deck I've ever, really one of the greatest decks I've ever played. It generates so much advantage every single turn while grinding your opponent down. And it's just like one for one with all their shit, and then you get your pluses, and it's like, oh my god, what the fuck, I have so many pluses. Hooray! Okay, so, before we get into the deck profile, I want to let you guys all be aware. I was really pissed off this weekend. And the reason I was really pissed off this weekend is not because of anybody in particular, but because of one stupid game that I decided to pick up and start playing for the last, which actually started on my way to Toronto. And that's Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Now, everybody knows that the first 3 dungeons are cake. You can get them done in like 2 hours max. And then you go forward and you're just like, alright, so now I'm Big Link and I can go around, I'll go to the Forest Temple and get my bow and arrow. I'm gonna go to the volcano fireplace and clear that in 20 minutes. And you get a hammer out of it. And the bosses are easy, and everything is easy. And then you get to this clusterfuck called the Water Temple. Now the Water Temple is like that transition you make from 10-minute dungeon clear to 3-hour clusterfuck hellbath, turn game off, want to throw game at window, will throw game at wall because you know that it won't break it, at least you hope that it won't break it, and it's like you get to a point where you finally have your one key. You get one key, and you're like running around that dungeon, and you're just like, oh my god, I have to get this, I have to use this key. I put the key in the hole, and it opens the hole, and the door opens, and we keep going forward. And then all of a sudden, oh my god, I'm at a door with another lock on it, and I don't know where my fucking key is. And even when you look at the map, there's like a bunch of squares everywhere. You're just like, the fuck? What am I supposed to do with this? I can't do anything with this. And then you have 10 people that are sitting there, and they're like, did you go in the main tower and get the key? Of course I did. When I was 10 years old and I played this game, that was the key that I forgot to get all this time. Oh my god, it's a mindfuck. It is this. It's the equivalent of a mindfuck in a Nintendo DS game, and not many games have actually made me say mindfuck. I've been an avid player of World of Warcraft for like 6 years. I was top 100 US. I've done Heroic Ragnaros. I did Heroic Cho'Gall. I did Heroic Lich King. I even was in Sunwell. Those were not clusterfucks. Water Temple, clusterfuck. Like, biggest clusterfuck you would ever see. That's just my rant. Nintendo, successful trolls are extremely successful. Hats off to you. You've made my entire time in the Water Temple like I was drowning. No water puns intended. So, I guess at this point, that was just my 2-minute rant on the Water Temple and how really fucking terrible it is. I'm gonna go over some stuff with the Geargia deck and some of the changes that I made. So let me just, I should have probably organized this before starting this video, but I was just that guy and decided not to. So, you guys can go take a piss real quick while I just organize this out. And, I'm also probably going to go over some major, like, I guess, myths about this deck that people apparently think have to happen. Like, they really don't. I don't know why some people think that, but they don't. So this will take just a brief moment, and we can really start a deck profile, and maybe I'll get some subscribers out of this. I don't know. I think I'm at like 36 right now. Who knows? But, oh, congrats to Angel Flores for topping his 3rd time YCS. That was, good for him. Good for him. I hate heroes. It's the stupidest deck out there. You sit there with a freaking, like, if you don't draw an Alias or a Stratos, you're absolutely boned. Like, half your deck is dead. And then when you do draw it, it's like, Ermagerd, what the hell, pluses everywhere off of your minuses. 1 for 1. Gemini Spark. Fuck Gemini Spark. That card can go to hell. Go to hell, Gemini Spark. It's like that one card that just does not need to exist. Alright, so forgive me, this is my first time doing a deck profile with the webcam, so I think all I'm going to have to do is have to bend this down. I can just go from here. I guess maybe you guys can see this, I don't know. Alright, so maybe you guys can see this. So obviously you start off with the 3 accelerators. Now the accelerator is your big guy in the deck. Like he's the guy you use with your combo pieces. Maybe I can do this. Or not. Or else you're gonna be an asshole. Ah, there we go. Okay, good. Oh no, that glare is terrible. Holy shit. That glare is even worse. I need like a lamp here or something. Wow. Alright, hang on guys. I'll fix this. Maybe we'll just move everything over. This is like my test, like my guinea pig. I'm gonna avoid that glare. This is crazy. Okay, so as you can see, actually, you know what? Let me do this. Let me see if this will work. Where the fuck that lamp go? Don't ask me, forget that this thing has its own freaking light, so we're okay, and you guys can see everything. So this is like the big engine. And people are just like, for starters, I want to talk about this guy, Geargia Armor. Now what he does is whenever he's flipped face up, you have one of these 2 guys from your deck to your hand. Any Geargia monster, but the other 2 really aren't that good. We're going to concentrate on these 2 guys, your Lone Fire Blossom and your Special Summon and do crazy shit with. People are playing this card like you flip it and you search for this guy and then you immediately go off. But my question is why? Why can't you just sit behind this guy with his 1900 defense and continuously generate pluses? And it's my biggest pet peeve whenever I play this deck. When I see other people play this deck, they just sit there and they're like, I don't know, maybe I could just not do any of this stuff. Maybe I'll just sit there and I'll generate my advantage once, just once, generate my advantage, and leave it, and just try and go off, and I'll lose to something like a bottomless. Like I don't know. People should just be taking this guy, flip him up, flip him face down, and pass. You may even poke for 1100. So that's my personal opinion. That's what you guys should be doing with this deck. This is a sit there and let them grind with you for a little bit, generate some pluses, and go off when you have cool cards, like a Birdman or something, or a Tuner in hand, and you go off for some pluses and you try and go for game. Like, that's basically what this deck does. And that's what I basically designed this deck to do, was grind out and then go for game. Simple as that. Grind out, go for game. Grind out, go for game. Plus off your opponent being terrible, go for game. Simple as that. And that's the engine. It's 9 cards. It's Insector's engine. And then the other thing I wanted to talk about was these 3 guys. Because Snowman Eater is, in my opinion, one of the greatest cards in this format. And you ask myself, why? People are good players are not going to attack into it. The point that I'm playing 3 in this deck means that any monster that I potentially set could be a Snowman Eater. So when you guys are having, like, overall, both of us are having 3 to 4 cards each, and you have a Thunder King on the field, there's no way in hell you're attacking my face down card, because you know that it could be a Snowman Eater. And when it's not, you're like, aww. And I'm like, ha 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 ha. It wasn't really a Snowman Eater, it was a Senkin, you son of a bitch. So yeah, Snowman Eater's best card. Like, seriously, you need to play the 3 of this card. I play through, if I play windups, I play 3 of this card in windups. If I was playing anything that required any kind of combo-based base that gets shit on by Thunder King, 3 of it. That's it. 3. That's it. Next card is the Gen X Ally Birdman. Now, Birdman is an awesome card. Birdman is so good because he enables your combo, which obviously, if you don't know the combo by now, it's that, plus that, plus that. So you continuously flip, and you put some synchros on the board, non-stop. Very simple to do. Especially simple when if you actually do just draw him, you can just leave him in your hand, and he opens 6 synchro access up. And you can just keep plusing off this guy. And then all of a sudden, you just go for game. Your opponent just doesn't even know what's going on. Birdman is amazing. And of course, you play your 3 Karakuri tuners, because if you don't, you're fucking stupid. I almost want to cut strategists from the deck, because whenever I go into Beret, I can flip in with strategists. When people were like continuously flipping the card face down, that's when strategist was good. People are saying strategist is not that great. I don't like him. I really honestly don't like him. I'd rather just play like a Nisashi or the recruiter guy. Or Quick. I'm actually thinking about playing Quick in this deck, because I feel like Quick can be really good. Especially when you draw these guys, or you go off and you go into a last Quick, you just go into another synchro. It's awesome. It's fantastic. I'm actually cutting for Quick, but I'm undecided at this point. Watchdogs, you need to play 2. Stop playing 1. Seriously. And stop playing more than 1 of him. You only need to play 1. That's it. Because you have 5 tuners overall. 5 tuners. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You do not need any more tuners. You play like what? 6 synchros in the deck altogether? Like, come on, guys. Let's get real here. Let's be smart players. And finally, it's Tour Guide. Because Tour Guide is just Tour Guide. And you need to play Tour Guide. Because Tour Guide is not the Thunder King. Tour Guide is not the Zen Mains. Tour Guide wins you the game when your opponent plays Acid Golem. It wins you the game right there. If you're not playing Tour Guide, I would play Tour Guide in pretty much every single deck that I play this format, because it's just so good. It's Tour Guide. You have to play it. It's amazing. In every single deck that I've played in, I've played Tour Guide. It's just that good. Play it. Stop being bad. 3 Typhoon. Factory is really good. Wind Up Factory is just like pluses. It's a reinforcement of the army every single turn with a rabbit out, and it's like, you really just like need to play it. If you don't play 3, you're hurting yourself against those really hard matchups. Like, if you're playing Wind Up and you're not playing 3 Typhoon, I feel bad for you, son. Like, I really do. Like, I'm not imitating Jay-Z right now for no reason. Like, I'm just seriously getting your attention. Play 3 Typhoon. Stop being bad. It's so good. You need to play it. It gets rid of gates. It gets rid of factory. It gets rid of all that shit you don't need to play against. It's good. Use it. Forbidden Lands ×2. This card is amazing. Bottomless Trap Bowl and Deep Prison are everywhere. When you try and go off, if they have 1 back row and you have this thing, you might as well just go off, because you can lance whatever the fuck they're gonna do. Except if it's like a Torrential. But that sucks. I mean, that's Torrential Tribute. It's gonna suck no matter what you do. If you play into it, you gotta, like, I don't know. You've already generated advantage, so it really doesn't matter. And then obviously your 1-ofs. Obvious. Obvious. Playing machines. Obvious. Spells are very obvious. The traps, again, like I said, I still got traps done from the deck. Solemn Brigade, Mirror Force. People need to stop saying this card is bad. This card is good. It punishes bad players. It punishes overextensions. It's really good. It's a card that, like, seriously, it's just one of the best cards in the game right now. I don't care if you say that it's bad. It's good. If you're not playing this card, you're an idiot. This card shits on Wind Up. This card really shits on Wind Up. It's really, really good. This card shits even more on Wind Up. And it's obviously 2 Torrential Tribute. Bottomless Trapple. It's bottomless. It's really, I don't know, like, I'm going on the fence of bottomless right now. I like it and I don't like it. And 3-dimensional prison, because it's freaking Deep Prison. It's so good, this format. Like, it stops everything. Anti-Thunder King. Thunder King is a no-no. We don't like Thunder King. We don't like him on the field. So if we can plus off your opponent thinking everything's cool with a Thunder King, that's awesome. So, again, the big change in this deck was the addition of the 2 Lance from the side into the main deck, and I cut the trap stuns because I stopped liking them after about maybe Sunday. The extra deck was actually the exact same extra deck from the weekend that I played, except I cut the Roach because he's terrible. for a Shockmaster. I don't know why I was not playing this card for the event. This card single-handedly wins games. Get yourself a copy of one. If you have to pay $70, do it. It's that good. It's so good. This card will eventually, in my honest opinion, maybe peak at 100. But you only need to buy one. And you should get one very, very, very soon, because if they go up anymore, and the more windups do well, and the more windups top, this card is going to go up and up and up and up and up. And this card is on the decline, because people realize you don't need to play more than one, because it's not that good. I mean, obviously if you're playing Machine Ability, you can play two, but it's not that good. And I know this video is getting really long. I don't know why I decided to do this, but oh well. The side deck is the same from Toronto, except -2 Lance, which I put into the main deck, for 2 copies of Needle Sealing. Play this card. Play it. It's amazing against windup. There's nothing they can do at all whatsoever, unless they have a Solemn Judgment face down or a Starlight Road. They're losing their entire freaking field for this. You play so much removal of their field in games 2 and 3. Like, in games 2 and 3, you're going all out, balls to the wall with removal. Like, honestly, do you need any more mass removal in this deck against windups? I don't fear the windup matchup whatsoever. I 2-0'd all windup players that I played this weekend, except for 1 or 2, like, to a couple games. But the majority of the windup players I did play this weekend were 2-0'd by this, and it was good. If they Shark Magician you, it does not matter. Games 2 and 3, you're gonna lose game 1. You're not gonna win game 1 unless they mess up and they don't draw well. Games 2 and 3, you should not lose. Look at this. This is just like everywhere. There's so much mass removal. You just shouldn't lose. That's bottom line. That was it, guys. I know it's really, yeah, I don't know. It's up to you guys. I thought the deck was amazing. People keep playing it really weirdly, and I'm not sure why they're doing so. But other than that, I wish you guys the best in your games, and that was most of it. Alright, see you, YouTube.